So in this video, I want to talk about a couple of things, but the main thing that I want to start with is this is not so much cut content in this current episode, but it is cut content in a past episode that explains something very fundamental with this episode, which is the situation where Rudy is out in the street and he bumps into Fitz. And it's a bit of an awkward situation where Fitz has been very quiet, they don't want to talk. Luke is kind of stepping in, and it gets a very awkward situation where Rudy feels like something's off. He feels like he's done something wrong, and he feels like Fitz is maybe upset with him, and then he ends up going to the library and then sees Fitz there and then has a conversation where Fitz explains that, oh, Ariel was in the shop and I wasn't allowed to talk out in public, but that is actually not the truth. The truth of the matter is that Fitz out in the street wasn't actually Fitz, that was Ariel. So to explain is a extra chapter that was skipped in episode 0. So episode 0 goes over the whole situation with Ariel, and because of the fact that it is only one episode, it doesn't actually go over the additional chapters that go over one of them, which is where an assassination plot happens on Ariel and someone is killed in the process that looks like Ariel, but in fact it is one of her servants that serves by her. And the reason for that is because she has a ring that allows her to take on the appearance of someone else, or vice versa. So that person can take on their appearance. And so that is how Ariel is able to go from where she was originally all the way to the academy. And it also allows her to leave the academy without being chased or being assassinated, because people will think that is Fitz, which is the rule of why Fitz is not allowed to talk in public, because it only does the appearance but not the voice. So if Ariel was to talk while disguised as Fitz, it would be Ariel's voice. So if Rudy spoke to who he believed was Fitz out in the street, and then Fitz spoke back, it would actually be Ariel's voice, and instantly Rudy would realize something's amiss. And that is why Fitz is called Silent Fitz, because Fitz is not allowed to talk in public. People aren't allowed to realize who their real voice is, because it gives an excuse for when Fitz is out, e.g. Ariel, they can then use that whole thing of, oh, well, they've got to follow this rule of not allowed to talk. So it's basically this way to allow Ariel to go outside and do normal activities while not worrying about the possibility of someone seeing her and trying to assassinate her. It's her pretending to be one of her bodyguards. So that is why the situation played out the way it does. But because that extra chapter has been skipped, it doesn't explain that little hint at what is going on. And so Rudy goes back to the library and then realizes, oh, Fitz is here. And that's the thing that the audience is meant to realize as well, is that how is Fitz basically in two places at once? Because the time span between Rudy leaving the streets and going to the library was very short. So it's kind of like, well, how can Fitz be in two places at once unless they just suddenly left very quickly? So it's kind of meant to give you hints at the situation, but Rudy is oblivious to it because Rudy is panicking, that thinking, oh no, Fitz is angry with me. And it's also really cute and adorable the way Fitz just says, oh no, I could never be angry with you, which is her way of basically saying the past of basically their connection, but Rudy doesn't realize that. And so it also then goes into them, well, Fitz falling on top of Rudy due to a bit of a slipperoo, wrong place, wrong time kind of thing, or should I say right place, right time. And that is when Rudy kind of has this realization that Fitz is in fact a she, not a he. But before that, Rudy is having conflicting feelings. He is feeling in love with Fitz, and again, at that point in the story, Rudy thinks Fitz is a he. He believes that. That's what people have been telling him. He goes and checks with, of course, the headmaster or the person in charge of the university and says, hey, what gender is Fitz? What's the deal? And they say he. At this point, there is a lot of debate between whether Rudy swings both ways or if he's straight. But you got to realize that Rudy is very confused at that point. He doesn't know what's going on. He's feeling conflicted. He's not sure what's going on in his mind, so he's questioning everything. He's wondering, well, is it because of this, or is it because of that, or is it something like this? Or he's constantly questioning things. And because of the situation that Fitz is in and who Fitz really is that he hasn't realized yet, He doesn't know yet that Fitz is Sylphiette. He is completely oblivious to it. It's this constant sort of tug-of-war going on in his heart. He's questioning everything and he's conflicted at what is going on. He is one confused individual, but he's also feeling a little bit relieved that at the same time that he can finally have a little bit more upstanding downstairs, but there is still some issues down there as well. But now he knows the truth about Fitz's gender, but not who Fitz really is. And that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love this episode and why I've loved the university arc for so long. It's that discovery for Rudy. It's him meeting the new people, as I mentioned in the previous video when talking about this particular arc. It's the discovery of meeting new people, making those new connections, those people also growing, and the bonding and everything, like with Cliff and Elinalise. And then you've also got Nanahoshi. You've also got the whole situation with the figures and him recruiting a sort of younger sibling type apprentice, and Xanaba, and all of those interactions and the friendships made along the way. But also the real thing that really I love about this arc is Fitz and Rudy, and them discovering their own path in how they can communicate with each other, because Fitz has got to work out how she is going to confess her feelings to Rudy and say, hey, it's me, Sylphiette, and Rudy discovering the truth of the matter of possibly who Fitz is, and then how that all untwines. Of course, I'm not spoiling anything, but now we know that Fitz is having a lot of issues going on with her trying to work out how she wants to confront Rudy about who she is, and Rudy having these conflicting feelings and these emotions about Fitz and how he's going to approach them. Clearly, there's going to be a confrontation. Clearly, something's going to have to give and take for them to discover the truth of the matter. And that is one of the reasons why I love this arc, and I really look forward to seeing how anime-only fans take in the future episodes of where they go in this journey of them confessing their feelings for one another and the discovery along the way. So, again, what do you love about this arc? I've seen so many people that say that this arc is a filler arc. I don't agree with that. I feel like this is such a fundamentally important arc for the story, and it's the same thing with Volume 7, because in the web novel, Volume 7 doesn't exist, but I feel like Volume 7 is really important to set the stage for the university arc, kind of allowing Rudy to discover the issues, how he comes to those, and then his realization that he needs to do certain things, and then the man god saying, hey, got to go to the university, and then him making that decision. There's a lot of things that he's got to realize because of what's going on with Eris. So it's one of the reasons why I feel Volume 7 is fundamental, and I really enjoy the university arc, and why I don't think it is filler, even though some fans have said otherwise. I just sadly do not agree, but they are fine to have the opinion that they desire. So again, I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of this particular episode? And hopefully people have a bit more understanding of that bit of cut content, because even though it's not cut content from this specific episode, it is of episode 0, so it gives a little bit more context of what's going on. So this episode was really well done. Love to know your thoughts, and of course if you like this video, hit the like, subscribe, and I'll see you beautiful nerds in the next video.